Hello again, and welcome to Praxis Group International. My name is Mr. Hearn, and I am your TOEFL tutor. In this video, we're going to talk about negative detail questions and the steps that we're going to use to identify them and go about answering them. Now, I know that these can be confusing questions, and it's a challenging test to begin with. And I also know that even though you may have struggled in the past, you can answer these questions quickly, easily, and accurately, and earn a respectable passing score once you know what to do. And that's what I do in my videos. I don't just teach you what I think you should do. I have studied the test from ETS for 15 years now, and I also study my students to see how is this test tricking them so much. And I've used what I've learned to create methods to help you to go to the questions and really move through them quickly to get to the right answer. You do know they give you the answers, right? I mean, not only do they give you the answers, they give you all the information you need to answer the questions quickly and accurately. So what we need to do is just know what is the path to get there. And that's what the procedures are for. It's a simple step-by-step process that helps you to eliminate anxiety, to eliminate confusion, and to find just the information you need to answer the question accurately. So let's get into how do we answer the negative detail questions. Let's see how it works. Negative detail questions, also known as except, not, or least questions. You will have 0 to 3 per passage. That's right. You may get 0, none of these questions on one of your passages. But if you do have as many as 3 of these questions in a passage, remember that you will have fewer of other types of questions because there will only be 10 questions per passage. Negative detail questions are challenging because the process of elimination is the opposite of what we do on all the other questions. For the other 8 question types, you must eliminate choices that are either not mentioned in the passage or change the meaning of the sentence in the passage with the same related topic. For negative detail questions, you must eliminate choices that are mentioned in the passage. These questions cause anxiety by making you think that you must read a lot more, or will take a long time to answer. However, you don't have to read any more than any other question. Just follow these procedures to understand what I mean. Step 1, identify the question type. All right, so far so good. And all we need to do is identify the question. So let's see an example of what except questions or negative detail questions look like. As usual, all questions that I show in my videos come directly from the official TOEFL iBT test, Volume 2, 3rd edition, by ETS, the people who make the TOEFL iBT. Remember, when practicing for your TOEFL iBT, use only genuine ETS TOEFL practice tests. This is an example of a common negative detail question. You will always be able to identify it immediately because it has the word except in all capital letters. Now, the other styles of the negative detail question will have the words except in all capital letters, the word not, N-O-T, or the word least, L-E-A-S-T, in all capital letters. It makes it easy to identify. As soon as you see the word except, not, or least in the question, it's a negative detail question. All right, let's see, how do we go about answering it? What is step 2? Step 2, identify the main point of the question. Well, let's take a look at our example and see how to do that. Keep in mind that if you want to know what a question is asking about, ask yourself the 2 general questions. What is the question asking about, and what does it ask about it? In this case, What is the question asking about? All of the following are mentioned in paragraphs 1 and 2 as evidence of right-handedness in art and artists accept. What's it asking about? Evidence of right-handedness in art and artists. Well, that was easy. Now let's go to step number 3. Identify the main point of each choice and do one choice at a time. Now, wait a minute. Isn't this a little confusing? I mean, I just found the main idea from the question. I'm not even going to the passage yet, and I'm looking at the choices. Why, yes. There are times when you will take the main topic from the question and go to your passage and see where it mentions that in the passage. Other times, when the question is asking about the paragraph as a whole, you're going to go to your choices and look at the main topic of each choice and find that in the passage. Now, if that seems a little confusing, there is a video in my online video course that tells you step by step exactly how to follow these methods and how to use them to answer the questions quickly, easily, and accurately. If you'd like to go and become a member and join in with the rest of the professionals who are passing their TOEFL iBT, you can use the link in the description to go to my website and become a member and watch the videos and raise your score there. In the meantime, let's continue with this video and see what am I talking about when I say to identify the main topics in the choices? How does that work? Let's take a look. Before I get into showing you how this works, let me ask you a question. When you look at this, what goes on in your mind? Do you think to yourself, oh my goodness, this is too much. It's too much to read. It's going to take too long. I hate this test. Why do I even have to take this test? I've passed my other exams. I've passed my boards. Why can't I just go about and do what I know how to do? Isn't that exactly what goes through our mind? I mean, aren't you just fed up with this test? Do you think that you shouldn't even have to take it? I mean, if you're like most of my students, you've already passed your boards and your other exams, you already know English. Why do you have to go through this stupid test? Well, it's required. I know my daddy said, hey, when it's your business, you can do it your way. Until then, we have to do as we are told. So let's just learn how to do this and get it done with. In the methods that I teach you in my online video course, and I know I keep bringing that up and you really need to take it, I tell you exactly step by step using lots of examples from the test of how to maintain your composure, to maintain your confidence, to know exactly what to do step by step to answer these questions. Now, let's take a look at this one, and let me give you a brief on what you need to do so you can get through this test and on with your life. Let's take a look. So here we are back at question number 3. It is our negative detail question, and it's asking about evidence of right-handedness. If we're looking for the main topic, right-handedness, we can go to our passage and look for the words right-handed. We have right-handed, right hand, right-handed, right hand, right-handedness, and right hand. Well, here we can see that there are too many places in the passage where it talks about the right hand or right-handedness. When this happens, we want to skip the reading and look at our choices, because our choices will narrow down where we're going to look in the passage. And let me give you an example of that. So let's take a look at our choices and see where should I look in the passage using the information from the choices. What is A talking about? The ideal source of lighting. And what does it say about it or ask about it? For most engravings. So I need to find a sentence in my paragraphs that's talking about the ideal source of lighting for most engravings. Now let's take a look. We're going to look for words such as source, lighting, and engravings. With these words, I find most engravings and light source. It doesn't necessarily say source of lighting, but it says light source, which is paraphrase, saying the same thing in a different way. So now I know that I'm in the sentence that may be related to this choice. And so I read over it quickly. Most engravings, best lit from the left. Something about right-handed artists who generally prefer the light source on the left. Okay, the ideal light source for most engravings. That is kind of sort of there, which means it's not possible. Keep in mind that for negative detail questions, we are eliminating choices where it is mentioned in the passage. All right, do you see how this works? Sometimes you're going to use the information from the question and go to the passage. Other times, you're going to use information from the choices to go to the passage to find the related information. If you'd like to know more about that, you can find specific videos in my online video course that show you exactly how to answer these questions and all of the questions on the TOEFL iBT so that you can earn a respectable passing score. If you'd like to go and join us, the rest of the professionals who are passing their test, please join us by clicking the link in the description below. Once you join, you can also join our TOEFL community, where you can ask me, your TOEFL tutor, any TOEFL questions, and I'll answer you directly and personally. I don't have anyone else working for me. It's just me. I know everything there is to know about the TOEFL iBT, and I'm happy to share it with you. So I look forward to seeing you at my website. Go ahead, click the link now, and let's get started.